So having got the cottage nearly down, it got to the stage where it
We
was
had Guy
a
up,
little
didn't
bit
we?
beyond us. Oh yes, Guy came.
Guy Thorderson from the community came
He
out.
was a roofer,
Yeah.
and
So
these
he-
were felt tiles.
So he made him take them off rather than put them on for us.
Yes, he really. It was marvellous to have someone who actually knew what they were doing, and so we managed to get the roof off.
But you took all that panelling off inside, all the way,
Inside,
all
yes.
the rooms. So how many rooms? There were 3 rooms, weren't
Yes,
there?
and it was all full of rat nests and
And
so that
and the panels were quite something because they were like concrete sheets, cement sheets with reinforcing.
yes,
It was expanded metal, so all this expanded metal had to be cut in
Yes,
sections,
in sections
before we
down.
could actually move it.
move it. Yes, yes.
It was
And
quite a
so-
job. So fortunately, Guy was there as well.
Yes,
Yes.
he helped with the
You
whole
had
thing.
to push a bit there.
Yes,
Yes.
it was brilliant. Only a day, wasn't it? He came.
One Saturday between 8:30 and 12 noon.
We had our digger guy get back again, the one who'd done our trenches. He came back one Saturday morning with a mate of his and a lorry, and they were to demolish there were 2 chimneys, one at either end, to demolish that for us, and then to lift as much as they could in the time up to the tip. And it was.
But there was one of the
tricky.
rules of the tip was there shouldn't be any builder's refuse, so we called it domestic refuse and
they
took it up in
managed,
bits. Where's the trailer? There's a no, can't find it. We
Lorry,
took it up on the
yes.
back of a trailer.
No, the lorry took
Oh,
up
yes, that's right,
the
yes,
major stuff
yes.
as much as they could between,
Yeah.
but by 12 noon when the tip closed, and I think he probably gave him a bit of a tip, and
Yeah.
25 quid I think it cost us to do it slightly not quite by the rules. And then we carried on because they couldn't manage to take it all.
This washing it shows how Spartan we were. It's sort of embarrassment to the neighbours, I would have thought.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then, so with the help, we bought a trailer, and a friend of ours, Gordon Godwin, came, and every lunchtime, between trying to run the business and everything else, we were taking this up to
Bits
the
up
tip,
to the tip,
bits up to the
yes.
tip until we got rid of it all.
This is
and
Sheba,
cleared
a
the
dog,
side.
wasn't it, who we had at that
Yes.
time?
And so here we are, we're doing the last final bits to get the site cleared.
This is us
Yes.
actually down at John Cianis's.
Yes,
Going for a
down-
bath.
Going for a bath, yes. We
We-
needed that
yes.
between the things.
John,
yes.
John lived about a mile away, no, a mile and a half, 2 miles, and he had an old cottage.
Yes.
Nice guy, we'll see him later on.
Mm.
And he's dead now, so we won't see him later on. We'll see him
No.
later on in here.
In the book, yes, yes.
we used to go down there baths. in
But
his
having
bath.
having got the site now cleared, we did our psychic survey.
Yeah, I'd run with this thing a long time about to have an idea of a site before you start putting all your thoughts onto it. And so we need to understand a bit about it, and it's where if there are any animal paths through it, any insect nests, where the birds came, and also energy fields on there. So we did this psychic survey, and from that had an understanding of the site. And then we started to draw the design from our understanding. But also we were limited by most. I live to regret it, actually. For years I've been thumping the tub about not covering any more of the earth with concrete. Everybody had to build exactly where buildings had been before. And we had this tiny little cottage, and we had to get our new house onto it. So it was rather restricted by that, my own thought form to start with, that it had to go on the side of the cottage, fit. And so we drew the design out, and
But we both tuned in to
Yeah.
the design beforehand, didn't we?
Yes.
And the symbol of the site.
absolutely.
And we both did it in our own individual ways. And then
Yes.
when we came together and talked about it, we found that we had come up with we
But-
drew it out on paper, and we had come up with a very, very similar idea.
And even the design for the house, it was like a mutual design.
Yes.
Although I had this thing about fitting it onto the original plan of the original cottage, there was something which was a sort of mutual design was drawn out of it as well. It was quite
Yes.
interesting.
Yes. And so
It strengthened our relationship, I would say.
I would say it definitely did. Yes. Yes. So we decided that we needed to have a blessing for this house that we were going to build, And so we invited a great number, quite a lot of our friends from the community, and even a lovely old lady called Augusta Lumley.
Anybody who was a bit wacky.
Anybody who was a bit odd and supported us and knew what we were about. And so we then took some chalk and we marked out the design as we thought the
plan of the house with the rooms and everything.
And people came and they bought blessings, they bought things to go in it. And we also got them to choose a stone. We had a huge pile of rocks we had collected, and they engraved on it the blessing, and they chose which room or which part of the house they wanted them put into. And we laid them all out that night.
And we started by just going around the periphery of the plan, so we all joined hands and marched around the shape of the house, which was quite an odd shape actually. It's got 3 sections to it. So we all went around there, and then we stood in front of each wall and guided thoughts into that wall, and stood on in the rooms and had guided thought generation there.
Yeah, yes.
And then we all danced a happy blessing on the whole thing.
We do circle dances, which is in the Finhorn Foundation. They do circle dancing, and this one was called King of the Fairies, which was one of our favourite.
Very appropriate.
Ones.
Where do these come from?
And those flowers, people bought flowers as well, and that's inside the caravan.